friends, Susanna here today, and today we're going to be sewing up the Chelsea Casual Bolero. I'm really excited about this one because I just love having this little bolero kind of over like my dresses or my tops if I want to like dress them up a little bit. It's so cute, and this one's got some really cute options. So you can do the short sleeve, you can do like a bell sleeve, bishop sleeve, or a regular sleeve, and it's got a cuff or you can hem. So, and also it's got 3 different lengths. So I'm going to be doing the hip length, which is a little bit longer, and it's got facing, so it's really, really cute. Let's get started. All right, I'm going to be using a beautiful French terry fabric. It is so pretty. Look at the colors. It's got like these beautiful burgundy dark flowers on it. I think it's going to be adorable. We're going to get started with our back bodice. We're going to place it face up, and then we're going to grab our front bodices and we're going to place them right side down on top of our bodice and match up that shoulder seam right sides together. This is a knit pattern, so you will be using, you have to use a stretch stitch, either a stretch stitch on your sewing machine or a serger, and we're going to sew that up right there. Alright, so that's done. If you're making the short sleeve, you would grab that side of your shoulder area, your sleeve area, and you would fold it to create that memory crease there, and give it a good press just to have that memory crease on there. I'm doing sleeves, so we're gonna grab our sleeve, and I have my sleeve marked. So this is my back point, this is my front center point. So if I grab my bodice, and this is my back and this is my front, I make sure that this back points go towards the back, and we're gonna match that up right there, that center point, and then the back towards the back, right sides together, and then match it up all the way to the front and match it right sides together and sew it on, and do that for both sleeves. All right, let's go sew that up. All right, so now that we've got that done, we're gonna go ahead and sew our side seams. If you're doing a short sleeve and you did that memory fold, you want to go ahead and open up that memory fold when you're sewing the side seams, because you're going to sew with it open, but then the memory crease will help to have to be easier to fold close after you're done sewing. Okay, and then we're going to match up those side seams at the side and then all the way down the sleeve. All right, let's go sew that up. All right, while I'm sewing the side, I'm also going to go ahead and prep my bands and my facings. Once you sew them on, they're going to be facing out. So we want to sew up the back seam with the front band, and it's going to face out. So I'm going to show you. So we're going to place these 2 here at the shoulder. You can see this one's facing out. I'm going to place the other one. And we gotta make sure that our bands are all facing correctly. Okay, and then the back seam here, we're gonna attach the bottom facing, the 2 ends here. So when you open it right side up, the center is out, and the 2 sides go towards the outside like this. So it kind of looks like a bell, like goes out like that. And this one goes rounded, and these ones goes out. So let's go sew that. And this is the reason why you have to make sure that you cut the right size of your facing. If it's so it's the right size of your length of your bolero. I'm also going to go ahead and prep my bands, my cuffs, by folding right sides together and sewing along the short raw edge. All right, so we're going to grab our bodice and we're going to open it up, and we're going to grab our facing and we're going to place it right on top, right sides together. So we're going to match up those shoulder seams here. Right sides together, and you're going to be sewing this on with a stretch stitch or with your serger. And then you're gonna go all the way down the front and match up that seam here at the front, the lower seam. And then match up the whole thing, right sides together. And if it's not giving you this nice curve here, then that means that you attach the facing incorrectly, like maybe facing the other way. And that's okay. All you have to do is just seam rip that part right there and redo it. I've had to do that before. All right, and then the bottom facing, same thing. And then other side. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and sew that whole thing all the way around. While I'm over there, because I'm doing the wider sleeve, you could kind of stretch together, but you want to go ahead and put in a basting stitch around it to gather the sleeve to the size of the cuff. If you're just doing the regular sleeve, you can go ahead and attach the cuff now by turning the cuff wrong sides together and fitting it onto there. But because of the fact that I've had the wider sleeve, I'm gonna have to put in a gathering stitch there at the bottom so that way I can fit it into my cuff. So let's go sew that up and then put that gathering stitch at the bottom of the cuff of the sleeve. Make sure that your raw edges are matching so nothing is like folded under or anything like that when you're sewing it. Okay, so while I'm over here at the same place and I'm going to do my stitching, I'm also going to go ahead and understitch my facing by pushing it towards the facing, my seam allowance, and top stitching it to the facing. So we're going to go like right next to it, 1/8 of an inch, and push it kind of open and towards the facing. So that seam allowance is going towards the facing. And a bobbin thread. Alright, I'm going to lengthen my stitch to a 5. And I'm going to put in that gathering stitch here around the cuff. Alrighty, so we've got it all understitched all the way around, and we're going to grab our, well, we'll do that facing in a minute, but we're going to grab our cuff, and I'm going to gather this sleeve to fit, so like if I place my cuff right in front of it, so that my sleeve is gathered enough that I will fit it into my cuff. Okay, and so then we're going to go ahead and grab our cuff and fit it around our sleeve. I'm going to do the same for the other cuff. Remember I showed you earlier, you're going to grab your cuff and fold it wrong sides together to match up that raw edge at the top. And then gather. You can hear Bo snoring. You may not be able to hear him, but he's snoring. He usually lays down right underneath my table while I'm sewing or anything. Well, when I was cutting this, he was right over by my cutting table, and I had to like hop over him so I wouldn't step on him to try to cut. He just doesn't have any sense of where he should be or shouldn't be. All right, so last thing that we need to do is to grab our front facing. We're gonna turn it towards the inside, and I'm gonna bring my iron and steam it there. And we're gonna fold that facing over to the inside. And you'll see how the understitching you did will be on the inside as well. And we're going to top stitch that facing to the bodice. So what you can do is if you want to come from the back and do like a basting stitch and kind of baste it down so you know exactly where you're going, or if you know, if you're confident enough and want to do it from the front on the first try, you're just going to go ahead and top stitch all the way around of the whole bolero. We're almost done. Let's do that top stitching, seal up the cuff, and we'll be done. All right, maybe I don't know what I'm doing and I am being silly by going ahead and top stitching without doing a basting stitch first, but we're just gonna try it. Make sure if you're doing it this way, you don't run over your pins. All right, friends, we are done with this really cute bolero. I made the hip length, high hip length. It is so cute. I love this. I think this would be super cute over a dress or paired with really any kind of thing that you want to kind of cover up. I love it so much. The sleeves are so stinking cute. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Go grab your pattern, come back and sew it up with me, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!